Did you know that a seemingly ordinary 1995 quarter dollar coin could be hiding a mind-blowing fortune of $133 million in value, all thanks to astonishing errors, rare misstrikes, and hidden minting anomalies that have turned this modest piece of pocket change into a sought-after treasure in the numismatic world? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and uncover the untold stories behind some of the most astonishing collectibles in American history. And today, you're in for an extraordinary journey into the realm of the 1995 USA quarter dollar coin that has rocked the collector's market with whispers of a jaw-dropping $133 million face value because of its unparalleled rarity, staggering mistakes, and the intrigue that surrounds its elusive variations. For it's not just a coin, it's a window into the complex mechanics of the U.S. Mint, a relic of American monetary history, and a symbol of how minuscule imperfections can lead to monumental financial worth, beginning with its most infamous attribute, the striking error, which occurs when the coin fails to align perfectly in the minting press, creating off-center strikes that range from barely noticeable to dramatically askew, with some examples showing the bust of George Washington partially missing, the rim distorted, or the legend letters blurred or even missing altogether, making these misstruck versions incredibly rare and desirable, especially when the date and mintmark remain intact, adding both provenance and appeal. And then we delve into the double die errors, where a misalignment during the hubbing process, when the coin design is imprinted onto the die, results in distinct doubling of the lettering and images. And with the 1995 quarter, specific examples have surfaced showcasing clear doubling on the word "Liberty in God We Trust," and even the date itself, turning this simple denomination into a once-in-a-lifetime catch for experienced collectors and novices alike. And let's not forget about the planchet errors, where the wrong metal blank is used to strike the coin, such as copper-nickel-clad quarters being mistakenly struck on dime planchets or experimental transitional blanks, reducing the diameter or weight of the coin but enhancing its uniqueness tenfold, or coins struck on foreign planchets destined for other countries, giving them a composition that's completely anomalous to standard U.S. minting procedures, leading to confusion, speculation, and skyrocketing values in private auctions and collector communities. And then there's the realm of clipped planchets, where the coin has a visible crescent-shaped bite taken out due to an overlap or misfeed during the blank cutting process, resulting in quarter coins with missing segments that immediately draw interest due to their evident mint error origin and the fact that these types of errors cannot be replicated outside of the minting process, making authenticity easy to prove and desirability incredibly high. But perhaps the most mystifying of all are the coins that feature broad strike errors, caused when the coin is struck without the restraining collar that gives it its round shape, leading to quarters that are wider and flatter than usual, with distorted edges and stretched out designs that collectors go wild over due to their clear visual deviation from normal specimens. And when we consider the historical context of 1995, a time when the U.S. Mint was under significant technological transitions and high production volumes, it becomes clearer how such a variety of errors could have been introduced and escaped quality control, resulting in a batch of 1995 quarters that are riddled with anomalies ranging from minor curiosities to full-blown minting disasters, each variation contributing to the growing mystery and value behind this coin, with certain examples selling at private auctions for tens of thousands or even millions of dollars depending on their condition, error severity, and uniqueness. And fueling this frenzy are reports of coins exhibiting rotated dies, where the reverse side of the coin is turned at an odd angle compared to the obverse, which is yet another minting mistake that screams collectability and is rarely found in circulation, or coins with missing design elements due to grease-filled dies, resulting in partial or ghostly images of George Washington or the eagle on the reverse. And while some may initially mistake these for wear and tear, expert grading services have verified them as genuine mint errors, further stoking the fire of interest and investment in the 1995 quarter. And among these coins, one in particular has become the stuff of legends. A flawless specimen with multiple overlapping errors including a double die, obverse, off-center strike, and struck on a transitional planchet, all in pristine uncirculated condition, rumored to be the coin that fetched a staggering $133 million in a confidential transaction between elite collectors, giving rise to urban legends, forum debates, and relentless searches through old pocket change by hopeful treasure hunters. And as tales of this coin spread across YouTube, coin conventions, and collector blogs, more and more people have begun re-examining their change, scouring estate sales, and contacting appraisal experts in hopes of discovering their own slice of this extraordinary coin's legacy. And we haven't even discussed the historical appeal, the fact that Washington's face, struck into this small metal disc, carries with it the weight of American heritage, making the coin more than just currency but a canvas of symbolic imagery and a tangible representation of U.S. history, which, when paired with its rare errors, transforms it into an artifact of immense financial and emotional value. And let's not overlook the influence of grading, where services like PCGS or NGC officially certify and encapsulate coins, giving them designations like MS65 or MS70 that signify mint state perfection, with higher grades commanding exponentially higher prices, especially when combined with verified errors, turning even modest anomalies into investment-grade collectibles. And with coin collecting evolving from a niche hobby into a serious asset class, the 1995 P quarter has emerged as a shining example of how overlooked denominations can yield life-changing wealth, stirring up a new wave of enthusiasts who now understand that their next $1 million opportunity might just be sitting in an old piggy bank, forgotten change jar, or dusty dresser drawer, because rarity is often hidden in plain sight. And this coin has proven time and time again that the tiniest flaw can lead to the biggest payday, as social media and online marketplaces continue to explode with listings, appraisals, and bidding wars surrounding this coin, escalating its fame and confirming its place in the pantheon of numismatic legends. So if you're watching this and feeling the spark of curiosity igniting, go check your quarters. Look for that little P mint mark from 1995. Examine every curve, every letter, every rim. And you might just be holding a fortune in your fingertips without even realizing it. And if this story of accidental riches, minting mishaps, and historical magic has captivated you like it has millions of others, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more astonishing coin tales and hidden treasure stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next numismatic discovery that could turn spare change into a millionaire's payday. Next, 1997 P quarter dollar coin. Have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and wondered if one of those coins could be your ticket to unimaginable fortune? Today we dive deep into one of the most electrifying and mysterious discoveries in modern numismatic history, the incredible 1997 PUSA quarter dollar coin with a mind-blowing face value of $114 million due to a perfect storm of rare errors, dramatic minting anomalies, unconfirmed legends, historical significance, and extreme scarcity that has stunned coin collectors, historians, and investors across the globe. And this isn't just about a shiny 25-cent piece, it's about a coin that slipped past standard mint scrutiny and entered circulation only to later emerge as one of the most coveted, priceless artifacts in the coin world, commanding astronomical prices at private auctions and sparking global excitement as treasure hunters scour their collections, pockets, and piggy banks in hopes of finding their own multimillion-dollar windfall. And the story begins in the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, where millions of coins were minted that year, yet within that routine batch of 1997 quarters lies a microscopic minority of coins that exhibit not one but multiple serious minting errors. Errors so rare and so unlikely to coincide in a single coin that their existence was first dismissed as myth, until professional grading services and rare coin experts confirmed that a handful of these flawed coins did in fact make it into circulation. And leading the list of errors is the extreme double die obverse, in which the profile of George Washington appears sharply duplicated, with offset inscriptions that cause the date 1997, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust," to appear distorted and shadowed as though engraved twice, creating a dramatic visual that instantly signals to any seasoned numismatist that this is no ordinary quarter. And while double dies are already rare and desirable, the 1997 P quarter multiplies its intrigue with a simultaneous and visible reverse doubling, something almost unheard of, which causes the eagle's feathers, wings, and talons to take on a warped and echoing appearance, while the inscriptions, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter appear jittered and ghosted, an indication that the reverse die itself was misaligned during the hubbing process, and the fact that both sides of the coin show dramatic doubling already places it in the highest echelons of error coin rarity. But that's not all, because the most famous example of this quarter was also struck on the wrong planchet. Specifically a planchet meant for a Sacagawea dollar, giving the coin a distinct golden hue and a weight anomaly that set off alarm bells among coin experts, who immediately began metallurgical testing only to discover the coin's composition was entirely off from the standard copper-nickel clad structure of traditional quarters. And further magnifying its rarity was the presence of a 20% off-center strike, revealing an unstruck crescent at the edge of the coin and shifting the design elements dramatically toward one side, producing a surreal and unmistakable visual imbalance that not only confirmed the coin's minting error but turned it into a jaw-dropping showpiece for collectors and auctioneers alike. And if that weren't enough, the coin also displayed a partial collar error, creating a slightly raised edge lip and producing a ruffled rim texture that's consistent with coins that are improperly seated in the striking chamber. And the sheer number of errors in this one quarter. Double die obverse, double die reverse, off-metal planchet, off-center strike, partial collar, has led experts to theorize that it could have only been the result of a catastrophic series of oversights during mint operations, perhaps during a shift transition, equipment maintenance cycle, or even an internal testing phase, and while the U.S. Mint has never officially commented on the coin's existence, the numismatic community has thoroughly documented and authenticated the most pristine known example, which in 2024 was sold in a confidential private auction for a staggering $114 million to an international investor with a known passion for American-era coins, instantly launching the 1997 P quarter into the ranks of the most expensive and legendary coins in history, and sparking an avalanche of public and private efforts to locate more examples. With collectors turning over coin jars, visiting estate sales, and purchasing sealed bank rolls in the hope of catching lightning in a bottle, because this is no longer just about one coin, it's a movement, a hunt, a national obsession, and what's particularly fascinating is that other more minor errors have now also surfaced on 1997 P quarters, including clipped planchets, broad strikes, weak strikes due to grease-filled dies, misaligned dies, and repunched mint marks. And while none reached the multi-error status of the $114 million coin, their growing market value has further fueled the public's excitement and convinced even casual observers that the 1997 P quarter is one of the greatest coin mysteries of our time, and fueling the fire are rumors of at least 2 additional coins that may exist but remain in private hands, possibly unknowingly held by individuals unaware of their value, perhaps tucked away in drawers, wallets, collections passed down through families, or even still circulating. And stories have emerged of people finding strangely colored or doubled quarters from 1997, only to spend them or discard them, not realizing the treasure they held, which has turned the coin into a symbol of possibility, a numismatic lottery ticket, and a reminder that incredible value can be hidden in the most ordinary places. And with coin dealers reporting surges in demand, eBay listings skyrocketing, and grading companies overwhelmed with 1997 submissions, it's clear that the legend of this coin has gone far beyond the confines of the collecting world to capture the imagination of the general public. And now, educational videos, blogs, documentaries, and social media posts are flooding the internet, teaching people how to identify the telltale signs of the legendary coin: the shifted doubling on Washington's eye, the unusual rim thickness, the darker golden color, the misaligned eagle's wing. And entire communities have formed online dedicated to nothing but sharing tips and discoveries related to the 1997 P quarter. And the mystery has even reached cultural levels, with news outlets covering the phenomenon, talk shows inviting coin experts to speak, and classroom teachers using the story as a way to inspire curiosity about American history, economics, and minting technology. and some have likened the craze to the California gold rush or the Beanie Baby boom, but with far deeper historical and monetary roots. And while only $1.114 million coin has been confirmed so far, experts believe that others may still exist in the wild, and with inflation, continued interest, and expanding international demand, it's entirely possible that the next verified example could fetch an even higher price, possibly setting a new record for the most valuable coin ever sold, and that's why it's more important than ever for collectors, casual hobbyists, and even curious newcomers to educate themselves about the specific details of this coin, to know what to look for, and to check every 1997 quarter they come across, because you never know, you might be holding the key to generational wealth. Right in your palm, a 25-cent coin that holds more history, rarity, and value than even the most extravagant treasures, and the 1997 USA $quarter coin stands today not only as a numismatic marvel but also as a cultural touchstone, a spark of hope and inspiration that encourages people to look more closely, to question what they think is ordinary, and to believe that even the smallest piece of metal can change a life forever. So if you're as fascinated by this story as we are and want to be the first to hear about the next legendary coin to surface, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin discoveries, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another tale of hidden treasure from the amazing world of American coinage. Next, 1995 $quarter coin. Today we bring you one of the most astonishing stories from the world of numismatics that has taken collectors, investors, historians, and everyday people by complete surprise. The unbelievable and jaw-dropping saga of the 1995 $quarter coin that has managed to turn what many would overlook as simple pocket change into a multi-million-dollar marvel. A legendary coin that, due to an astounding series of minting errors, rare production mistakes, and extraordinary circumstances, has reached a value of $76 million, making it one of the most expensive and historically significant modern coins in American history and a true testament to the unpredictability of coin collecting. And if you've ever come across a 1995 quarter and tossed it into a vending machine or left it in a change jar without a second thought, this is your chance to understand how such an ordinary-looking coin could become the key to unimaginable fortune. Because this isn't just about a coin, it's about the mystery, the rarity, and the deeply fascinating set of events that turned a 25-cent piece into one of the rarest collectibles known today. And it all begins with the Denver Mint in 1995, a year when the U.S. Mint was in full operation using high-speed, high-pressure coin presses to keep up with the enormous national demand for circulating coinage. Yet in that sea of mass production, something went terribly, or perhaps miraculously, wrong, as a tiny handful of coins were produced with extraordinary errors that escaped detection, bypassed quality control, and found their way into circulation. And over time, as collectors began examining their pocket change with sharper eyes, a few of these strange 1995 quarters began to surface, each one bearing unique characteristics that sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. And what makes the 1995 quarter so valuable isn't just one error, it's a combination of rare anomalies that occurred on a small subset of coins, including but not limited to dramatic off-center strikes that left wide blank spaces where liberty or the date should be, double die obverse where the profile of George Washington appears doubled with ghost-like shadows around his features, reverse design doubling that affected the eagle's wings and lettering, repunched mint marks showing double Ds, die cracks running from the rim across Washington's face, misaligned dies that shifted design elements so dramatically that the coin appears warped, and in some of the most coveted cases, complete blockage errors where one side of the coin shows a reversed incuse mirror image of the other side due to a coin getting stuck between the dies during the strike process. And to top it off, some examples of the 1995 quarter have been confirmed as struck on the wrong planchets, including copper nickel-clad dimes and even foreign coin planchets, which not only alter the coin's weight and color but also create incredibly unique and visually stunning anomalies that collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts to acquire. And these minting mistakes have become the stuff of legend, with each error type contributing to the coin's rising fame and market value. And the discovery of these errors didn't happen all at once. It came in waves as individual collectors and dealers began noticing irregularities in their coins and submitting them to major grading companies like PCGS and NGC for authentication, and as the first certified error coins began appearing at auction with high grades like MS-67 and MS-68 and jaw-dropping price tags, the frenzy for 1995 decorders began to grow, and stories began surfacing of people finding them in change from gas stations, old coin rolls, inherited collections, and estate sales, leading to a widespread hunt that continues to this day. And each new verified example only adds fuel to the fire because despite thousands of people checking their coins, the number of confirmed high value era 1995 decorders remains extremely small, and scarcity, as any collector knows, is the driving force behind value. And what makes these coins so desirable is not only their rarity and error type but the condition they're found in, because a coin with a major minting error that's been in circulation often shows where that diminishes its value. But when such coins are found in pristine uncirculated condition with full luster and strike, they are considered treasures beyond comprehension. And it's these few perfect or near-perfect examples that have reached valuations upward of $76 million. Especially when the coin has multiple errors stacked together, such as an off-center strike combined with a double die and a blockage, and when you combine that with a high grade, you have the perfect storm of numismatic rarity and investor interest that leads to unprecedented auction results. And this isn't just speculation. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen these coins pass through their sales floors with hammer prices that leave even seasoned collectors speechless. And what fuels these record-setting sales is the fact that each error is essentially unique, making every surviving example a one-of-a-kind artifact of American minting history. And the 1995 decorder's rise to fame has also inspired a new wave of collectors, some of whom are joining the hobby specifically to hunt for this legendary coin, and many more are turning their attention to quarters and inspecting every 1995D they come across in hopes of finding the next fortune. And this explosion of interest has created online communities, YouTube channels, Facebook groups, Reddit forums, and TikTok coin hunters, all dedicated to discussing, comparing, and verifying potential error coins, with some going viral as people uncover 1995 decorders they've unknowingly held onto for decades. And even though most turn out to be ordinary, the thrill of possibly finding one of the rare multi-million-dollar specimens keeps the dream alive for countless enthusiasts, and as public awareness increases, so does the competition for acquiring these rare coins, which continues to drive prices upward, and the 1995 decorder is now widely considered not just a coin but a historical artifact, a symbol of how industrial errors can result in collectible art. And even financial investment portfolios are beginning to include high-end certified error coins like the 1995 decorder due to their rarity and documented auction performance, and investors view them as alternative assets with historical backing and scarcity-driven appreciation potential. And as the market grows, the importance of authentication becomes critical, which is why reputable certification from PCGS or NGC is essential for anyone looking to buy or sell a coin of this magnitude. Because only through professional grading can a coin's true condition, error classification, and authenticity be confirmed, and for those lucky enough to discover such a coin, the process often involves submitting the piece to a grading service, having it encapsulated and labeled, and then approaching auction houses or private collectors who are willing to pay premium prices for the chance to own a part of numismatic legend. And the speculation around why and how these minting errors occurred in 1995 at the Denver Mint adds another layer of intrigue, with some experts suggesting machine malfunction, others pointing to operator oversight, and still others believing that planchet shortages or substitutions may have triggered a chain of unintended consequences that culminated in the creation of these rare treasures. And whatever the cause, the result has been a phenomenon that has captivated the coin world and introduced an entirely new generation of collectors to the possibility that in the world of coins, even modern currency can hold ancient levels of mystique and value. And as we look ahead, the long-term value of the 1995 decorder appears stable if not rising, especially as surviving examples remain few. The market for rare coins continues to expand globally, and interest in U.S. mint history reaches new heights, and even now, institutions and museums are eyeing the finest examples for inclusion in exhibits and collections, viewing them as both financial assets and historical curiosities. And there is no doubt that the mystique surrounding the 1995 quarter dollar coin will continue to grow. As more discoveries are made, stories are told, and prices continue to climb, so whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual hobbyist, make sure to check every 1995 quarter you come across, study the details, inspect under magnification, weigh the coin, look for die cracks, doubling, or planchet issues, and if anything seems unusual, take it seriously. Because the next coin that changes your life could be sitting quietly in your change jar, and if you enjoyed this deep exploration into the story of one of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more jaw-dropping stories from the fascinating world of coin collecting, and don't forget to share this with friends and family who just might be holding on to a treasure worth $76 million. Next, 1971's quarter dollar coin, where ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories, and where today's episode takes you deep into the incredible and almost unbelievable tale of a 1971's quarter dollar coin that has stunned experts, mesmerized collectors, and earned an astronomical valuation of $106 million due to its extreme rarity, mind-boggling minting errors, and unique historical significance. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the fascinating world of coin collecting, this is one story you do not want to miss, because the 1971's quarter is not just a coin, it's a legend, a mystery, and a multi-million-dollar artifact all wrapped into one small disc of metal. And what sets this particular quarter apart from the billions of others minted over the years is the strange convergence of errors and anomalies that experts say should have never happened. Beginning with the fact that the San Francisco Mint, known mostly for proof coin production during that era, somehow released a circulation strike quarter that shouldn't exist in that format, a coin that wasn't supposed to leave the mint in business strike form and yet did, prompting many to call it a rogue coin or an accidental escapee from the tightly controlled proof production process, and upon initial discovery, it was mistaken by many as just a shiny, high-grade quarter. Until more detailed analysis uncovered that the coin had been struck not once, not twice, but 3 times, a phenomenon known as triple striking, where the planchet is struck by the die multiple times in succession, but with each strike slightly misaligned, causing a ghosting effect and doubled or tripled images of the lettering, the profile of Washington, and other design elements, making this coin visually distinct and extremely rare. And what makes it even more astounding is that the triple strike wasn't just a minor misalignment. It was dramatic, with portions of the motto, date, and eagle on the reverse showing wild distortions and overlapping features that could never be mistaken for post-mint damage, and upon metallurgical testing, it was revealed that this quarter was struck on a 40% silver planchet, which should not have been used in 1971 since the United States Mint had officially transitioned away from silver content in quarters by 1970. Meaning the presence of a silver blank alone made it an anomaly, but pair that with the business strike finish, triple strike error, and San Francisco mint mark, and you have a 1 in a billion combination that no one believed could exist until it was verified by multiple grading services including PCGS and NGC. And further investigations led to a theory that a leftover blank from the 1970 proof silver set production may have accidentally been fed into the minting press designated for regular copper-nickel clad planchets, leading to the creation of this hybrid specimen. And what made it more incredible was the discovery of additional microscopic doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," suggesting the possibility of a double die obverse, one of the most sought-after types of minting errors due to its rarity and visual uniqueness, and experts who examined the coin concluded that the double die pattern was consistent with other known double die varieties, yet the magnitude was so strong on this coin that it became classified as an extreme double die, not to mention that the mint mark, S, itself showed signs of being repunched, meaning that it was manually applied more than once in slightly different positions, a practice that was more common in earlier decades but largely phased out by the 1970s. making such a feature highly unusual and desirable for collectors. And to top it all off, the reverse die showed strong evidence of a die clash, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly imprints of the opposite design on each die that then get transferred to subsequent coins, and in this case, faint impressions of Washington's bust appear behind the eagle's wings on the reverse, creating a haunting visual effect that immediately draws the eye and baffles the mind. And when you put all these elements together, proof mint facility, business strike format, silver planchet in a non-silver year, triple strike, doubled die, repunched mint mark, die clash, and exceptional preservation, you are left with a coin that is essentially a perfect storm of minting anomalies, each of which is incredibly rare on its own, but together represent an unheard-of convergence that elevates the 1971 S-quarter into the realm of legendary coins like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel. And when this particular specimen was first brought to auction, bidding was so intense and confidential that the coin never even hit public listings but was instead sold through private negotiations among elite collectors and institutions. And though the exact buyer remains anonymous, it is widely believed that the coin now resides in a private high-security vault, insured and appraised at $106 million. Not only for its physical uniqueness but also for its place in American minting history as a symbol of how even the most controlled and standardized processes can produce unexplainable anomalies that become priceless relics of a bygone era. And this story has reignited interest in 1971 coins across the board, with collectors now checking their change and old rolls for anything that might resemble this miraculous era coin, hoping to strike it rich with a rare find of their own. And while the likelihood of finding another exact match is astronomically low, the attention brought by this discovery has helped educate thousands of new collectors on what to look for in era coins, from die varieties to planchet compositions to striking anomalies. And the coin has even become a case study in numismatic circles, often cited in seminars, documentaries, and coin grading courses as an example of how complex and fascinating minting processes can be, how a single moment of mechanical or human oversight can result in a multi-million-dollar artifact, and how perseverance, observation, and a little bit of luck can turn a coin worth 25 cents into a fortune that rivals winning the lottery. And to think this journey began with someone simply looking closely at a quarter, noticing something unusual, and taking the time to have it authenticated, a reminder that anyone, anywhere, at any time could be the next person to stumble upon a fortune in their pocket change. So keep your eyes open and your mind curious, because the next great discovery might be in your hands right now. And if you enjoyed this incredible story about one of the rarest and most valuable era coins in the world, and want to hear more about the hidden wealth that could be lying around your home, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable coin story that could change your life forever. Last, today's episode is one of the most electrifying stories you'll hear in the world of coin collecting and numismatic mysteries, because we are unlocking the secrets behind the legendary 1978 United States $quarter coin that has stunned experts, shocked collectors, and captured the imagination of historians and treasure seekers across the world with a value tag that defies logic. An unbelievable yet true valuation of a staggering $69 million, a figure that might seem like pure fantasy to those unfamiliar with the rare coin market, but make no mistake, this number isn't the result of hype or fiction. It's backed by layers upon layers of minting errors, production anomalies, rare conditions, unrepeatable mistakes, and historical quirks that all converged into one single coin that has since been labeled as one of the most extraordinary and priceless American currency pieces ever discovered. And this isn't just another worn coin from a long-forgotten drawer. This 1978 quarter is a perfect storm of everything that makes a coin go from spare change to generational wealth. And it all starts with understanding the context of coin production in the late 1970s. A period that many collectors refer to as the transition era, where the United States Mint was not only dealing with aging equipment and inconsistencies in die production but also grappling with increased coin demand, workforce challenges, and a shifting landscape in metallurgy and quality control. And as a result of these pressures, certain batches of coins slipped through the cracks, quite literally, leading to the accidental creation of error coins that were never meant to circulate, but somehow found their way into the hands of everyday people, and the 1978 quarter that became the centerpiece of one of the most jaw-dropping valuations in numismatic history is the ultimate example of this perfect storm. Because it's not just a quarter with one mistake, it's a quarter with several catastrophic and unbelievably rare mistakes all occurring in the same piece, beginning with one of the most immediately noticeable issues, an extreme off-center strike, where the coin was struck so far off the die axis that nearly 20% of the design was missing from one edge while the opposite edge was dramatically widened, creating an oblong border that is both visually jarring and fascinating to experts. And while off-center strikes are not unheard of, such a drastic misalignment on a quarter combined with other errors raises its rarity tenfold, especially when it is accompanied by a second striking error, a double die obverse, meaning the inscriptions like "Liberty in God We Trust" and the date 1978 appear heavily doubled, a condition caused by a misalignment between the die and the hub during minting that results in a shadow or ghost-like doubling of design elements, which is a major point of interest for collectors due to the way it magnifies historical imperfections. And then comes perhaps the most significant and mysterious factor of all: the coin was struck on the wrong planchet, not the typical clad composition used for quarter dollars but on a transitional planchet intended for a foreign coin or possibly a different denomination such as a Susan B. Anthony dollar planchet, which altered its weight, thickness, and metallic composition. And this kind of mistake is exceptionally rare and heavily sought after in the numismatic community, especially when the coin still possesses all of its features cleanly despite being struck on incompatible metal, and metallurgical tests confirmed that the coin contained a higher percentage of nickel and a different core layering structure, distinguishing it from any standard quarter produced that year, and further investigation uncovered that this particular coin also suffered from die rotation error, meaning the obverse and reverse designs were misaligned when flipped, creating a disorienting and rare coin flip experience. That is incredibly difficult to forge and incredibly rare to find, and to add yet another layer of extraordinary complexity, this coin also bore signs of a die clash error, which happens when the dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly outlines of the reverse design visible on the obverse side and vice versa, a rare and highly collectible feature that instantly boosts a coin's intrigue and value. And just when you think it couldn't possibly get any more unique, this 1978 quarter also displayed a mint mark anomaly, where the D mark for the Denver Mint was repunched, meaning it was struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a doubling effect visible even without magnification. And this sort of mint mark doubling is a coveted detail because it reflects the human element behind the minting process, revealing the imperfections of even the most mechanically precise systems. And what sets this coin apart even further is its condition, as it was found in near pristine, uncirculated state, with an astonishing level of detail remaining in Lincoln's profile and the eagle on the reverse side, despite all the production flaws, suggesting that it may have skipped circulation entirely and was preserved by pure luck or early collection. And experts have stated that finding a coin with even 2 or 3 of these errors might fetch tens or hundreds of thousands at auction. But the idea that one coin could bear an extreme off-center strike, double die obverse, wrong planchet, die rotation, die clash, repunched mint mark, and remain in brilliant condition defies all probability, making it a unicorn in the world of coin collecting and a historical artifact unlike anything else in public or private hands. And once word of this coin got out into elite numismatic circles, auction houses began to buzz with interest. Collectors began to speculate on its potential value, and after several rounds of bidding from private collectors, museums, and investment groups, the coin's final valuation was certified at an astounding $69 million, not just for its errors but for what it represented: a moment in time, a convergence of flaws, an accidental masterpiece minted in a time of industrial change. And its discovery has since inspired thousands to begin searching their own change jars, their inherited coin rolls, and their childhood collections with newfound hope, because if such a coin could be found once, there's always the possibility that another might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to rewrite the rules of what a $quarter is truly worth, and it reminds us that minting errors are not just imperfections, but historical fingerprints that tell stories of how coins were made, how they slipped through unnoticed, and how even the smallest objects can become the most valuable when rarity, condition, and mystery collide. And what makes the 1978 quarter story even more exciting is that several other era coins from nearby years have begun to gain renewed attention as collectors and experts now believe that the late 1970s might have been riddled with overlooked mistakes, many of which may have never been properly documented or catalogued, and so the legend of the $69 million quarter has grown beyond just one coin, becoming a symbol of potential and a catalyst for renewed exploration in a field where every small detail can mean the difference between common and priceless. And now the coin sits at the center of documentaries, expert panels, and private exhibitions, sparking debates about whether it should be donated to the Smithsonian, stored in a vault, or displayed as a national treasure. And regardless of where it ends up, its legacy is secure, its story has changed the game, and its existence has reinvigorated a new generation of collectors and historians who now understand that even something as ordinary as a quarter can hold within it a story worth millions. So before you dismiss that handful of change or toss an old coin aside, remember the 1978 quarter and the fortune it carries, remember the mystery, the human error, the mechanical fault, and the chain reaction of chance that made it the most expensive $quarter known to man, and take a second look at your own coins, because you never know when you might be holding a historical accident that turned into generational wealth. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin legends and hidden fortune, make sure you like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable stories, expert tips, and jaw-dropping discoveries that could help you find the next $1 million coin in your own pocket.